Okay, that should be better. If you can hear me, say hey.
Renowned physicist Stephen Hawking has made a statement about
Back to the editor.
basically.
Mic check 1 2 1 2. All right. We'll be getting started in just a minute. If you can hear me, say hey. Hey.
Once humans develop artificial intelligence, it would take off on its own and redesign itself at an ever-increasing rate. But I think the development of full artificial intelligence could spell
There we
the
go.
end of the human race.
Okay. Oh, let's get ready to rumble. Rumble, young man, rumble.
The primitive forms of artificial
Just getting in a quick share.
intelligence we already had proved very useful. Humans, who are limited by slow biological evolution, couldn't compete.
Boop. If you're watching, thank you very much. I greatly appreciate it. Twitch. There we go. All right. We got a minute and a half and then we'll be going full live. Just making sure everything's running on Twitch, on Facebook, and YouTube. And pretty soon, TikTok. Yay! There we go. What do you want? What I want. There you go. Alright, if I'm too loud, let me know. Yeah, I see you watching. Thank you for watching me. I really appreciate it. Tell your friends. Tell Tia Tina, I need the views. Can y'all hear the music? Love you too, yeah. My mom over on Facebook. Big supporter. Should put her down as a sponsor. All right. We'll be going live in just 20 seconds. Thanks, yeah. Thank you. You don't even have to write anything. Just hit the share button twice. You can be like, "This is my baby. Look at him. He's big and goofy." For all my friends out there, you can say, "This is my Mike. He's big and goofy." Share. Love me. Help me. Okay. 2, 1. Ta-da! Yay! Woo, it's been a long time since I had a chance to stream. I am so happy to be back. If you can hear me, give me a holler. I can see my mic is booming, so I'm adjusting that as needed. Man, what a weekend. I had such an amazing weekend at BR&WL CON that I need to share it with you, because this is going to be the next big thing. This is going to be what's happening in Houston, Texas. Hola, Abby over on Twitch. Amazed is what I have right now for what BR&WL CON did. So I've been gaming for 27 years, tabletop gaming specifically, almost 28. Actually, I think about 28 now. And everything that I've done up to this point has been about community and giving back and bringing people together at a table. And something that BR&WL CON has captured over this past weekend was just that. There was a sense of fellowship at every single table that I was at, and I cannot imagine what anything else would be like. And I really think that all the conventions that have happened in the past have led up to this point. My first major convention in the Houston area was ALCON at Rice University. I love ALCON. I hope that it continues to survive and thrive. 2020 was rough on ALCON, and this year was real rough, but I heard that they're coming back from a lot of good sources. So I'm excited for what is in the future for ALCON. MadCon up in New Caney, Mad About Gaming, great, small. No, it wasn't humongous, but it was a good con filled with good people that came together to board game and do things for charity. And I miss MadCon real bad, because it was seeing my friends and my family and the people that I had gained with for decades at this point, that loved me and I loved them. And I miss MadCon. So when I showed up to BR&WL CON, I had high hopes. I've known the organizer, Shane Jensen, for well over a decade now, 15 years. A good man, and does exactly the same thing that I do, and that's bring people together at the table to play games. And that's all he wants. That's all he really wants. And he's leaving a great legacy in BR&WL CON. My first day there, sat down, and there was a lot of people that were anxious because this was a big endeavor. BR&WL CON was hey Ed, thank you very much for liking the stream. BR&WL CON was doing something new and different. It was bringing a tabletop game convention to Houston like no other. Massive is what I think of. Like it was on the scale of we used to have Space City Con and other multifaceted events where they would have like anime voice actors and actual actors from TV shows and other things come in. But this was huge. I walked into a huge ballroom where there were hundreds of tables for role-playing games and for tabletop war games. So they had Warhammer 40K, they had Age of Sigmar, they had Blood Bowl, they had Kill Team, all going on. And it was really neat to see, because that's the kind of stuff that I love, right? I'm building Lizardmen as we speak, Blood Bowl team, and walking in, I was excited to see everything, but there were a lot of people, vendors specifically, that were anxious. I got there at about 10 o'clock in the morning on Friday. I took the day off so that I could enjoy the convention. When I got there, people, oh, you know, it's rough. It's already 10 and there's not a lot of people coming in. And I had to remind them that this isn't Gen Con. This isn't Origins. This isn't PAX. This is a hometown convention, and it's their first year. So Friday got rolling and people started coming in, and I was able to run a demo of Tiny Cthulhu. Who is this? Red Celtic Drake says Diablo Verde left no one hungry. I'm gonna get to all of the vendors that were there, and it was really cool. But Friday got rolling, and I was like, man, this is awesome. This is exactly what I wanted ALCON and MagCon to feel like on a larger scale. Lots of tables, room for plenty of people to just sit down and play games. A good selection of vendors, very good selection of vendors, and room to grow. They had a few side rooms for semi-private gaming. There was like 4 tables for RPGs and 2 different side rooms, the gold room and the pixie room. The main purple worm room had over 100 tables in it for role-playing, for RPGs and for war games. There was vendors in front of the main ballroom where everything was happening, and then vendors inside the ballroom as well. They created a divide for role-playing games and war games, which I thought was a great idea. I never felt like I was yelling over somebody when I was running my games or playing, which is fantastic, because that's one of the things that you worry about going into a large place like that. But with carpeted floors and everybody being a fairly good distance away from each other, table-wise, table to table, it gave a lot of space to run the games in a good setting where you didn't feel like you were overwhelmed by the other table. James, thank you very much for liking the stream. I really appreciate that. Liking my stream, sharing my stream helps a lot. We're trying to boost the signal. That being said, Friday came and went. The location was wonderful. It was right there in the middle. It was the Marriott, and way less. Yeah, Abby over on Twitch asked if it was less yelling than Porky's, and yes, it was way less yelling than Porky's. We were situated right in the heart of Sugarland, at the Marriott, the Sugarland Marriott. Beautiful hotel, convention center. I walked to a bunch of wonderful restaurants in the area during my downtime and for dinner. The hotel had breakfast for everybody, so I stayed at the hotel for the weekend, which I never do. I never stay. But I decided that this time I really wanted to have a convention experience and to enjoy myself, so I was able to stay there thanks to Shane, the organizer. He helped me out. And Saturday morning, woke up, knew that I had a session at 8 o'clock, and went out, sat down, and ran a game. Noon came, sat down, ran a game. That night, Saturday night, we did this huge, massive, multi-table Savage Worlds event that was phenomenal. We had over 30 players, 4 storytellers. Mr. Ed Wetterman was there, the creator of East Texas University. Good man. Love seeing him, love his work. And he got to role play the big bad evil guy of the thing after he had been running us through it. And it was just a phenomenal experience. And we ran it fast and loose and fun, and finished the game on a triumphant note. So it was something that I know that we'll be talking about for years to come. Just like we had the last mega event, Epic Table, the quarterback sacrifice at ALCON many years ago. Oh man, I think it was over a decade ago now. But the convention was so much more than just going and playing games. I made a lot of new friends. I got to see friends that I haven't seen in years. It's exactly what I wanted from the convention, and what I would want my friends and family to experience when they go to a board gaming convention. I haven't had a chance to go to anything big. I've never been to PAX. I've never been to Gen Con. I would like to eventually go. It's a goal of mine to get out there and play, and maybe even run my own setting there if God willing. But BR&WL CON gave me the big convention experience at home, and I genuinely am thankful for this because I needed a break. This was a vacation. When I came home Sunday, I didn't feel tired. I didn't feel exhausted. I didn't feel like because I had run 7 games over the course of the weekend. I didn't feel like I was burnt out. I felt like I spent the weekend with family and friends having a good time. Like I had eaten good food and fellowship with people that I loved. And I can't wait to do it again. It was just that good of an experience. Some highlights of the weekend for me were getting to talk with some of the vendors. Obviously, I love all my games, but being the big bad nerd dad, I've got to do a little bit of marketing myself. So I was able to pick up some things from different vendors and check different places out. I'm going to show a couple of these things real quick. Double webcam. All right, so first up from the Professor Rose Creations, we have these really cute little earrings. That light's really bright. Closer. These little D20 earrings with a crescent moon. I got a couple of pairs for the girls. Super cute. Had a lot of fun with that. I also was able to meet some really neat vendors like the Fair of Champions. So this is an alternative to the Texas Renaissance Festival. Texas Renaissance Festival takes place in October, November, December, sometimes December. This takes place in January, February. Much cooler, not that far away in Palestine. The guy who was running the booth, Mike, really nice, down to earth, just wanted me to come check it out, and made it sound like a less commercial Texas Renaissance Festival. They do a lot more RP. They have a lot more fun with their characters. They do open quests. When you complete quests, you get your name into a raffle. They have a schedule of weekends, just like Texas Renaissance Festival, but they let the community decide on certain weekends on what they want them to be throughout the year. So there might be a steampunk weekend, or there might be a Lovecraftian weekend, or there might be a, what did they call it? Forget what he said one last year, but like they do a poll to see what you want, and you can put points into which poll you want, and that means that every year this Fair of Champions will change. It won't have set weekends like the normal Texas Renaissance Festival or the Scarsboro Fair or Sherwood Forest, which I've never been to anything other than the Texas Renaissance Festival. So this is definitely going to be my first foray outside of the Texas Renaissance Festival, and heading out to the Fair of Champions. If you can read that, I'll have a little bit more posted up. And so we'll go back and forth with that and figure things out. I had the chance, I want to flip over the camera because this is a huge book. I had the chance to demo a really, really cool, thank you Abby for posting that link to the Fair of Champions. I had a really, really good time trying this new game out called T-Area. So this is the core rulebook for T-Area. It is a chunky mess. T-Area. Oops, let me fill up. I'll check it out in a little bit. And I loved it. I loved every second of it. I did not get to create my own character. He had like 30 something pre-generated characters, and this is what I would consider a very crunchy system. But once you get through character creation and learn the basics of how to play, everything is gravy, right? Just like any other role-playing game. Once you get down how to play your favorite role-playing game, it's fun. This is intuitive. This is easy to understand. Some of the spells in this in here are one sentence long. Just it's that simple. There's not a lot of frills, and I like that about it. Now it's got tons of information, tons of way to build your characters. I think he said there's like 54 different ways to build characters. They have different things. Really nice man. Really nice man. Brian. His name was Brian, the creator. Brian P. But the art is his. He wrote this entire book. It's sideways, which I thought was kind of neat and different. When I purchased the rule book from him, he gave me a ton of character sheets, special sheets for running the game. He was super excited, which I love to see. And he's local, so that's another thing too. Is this is a local designed and self-published RPG, and that's exactly what I'm looking for. I'm looking for people that are trying to get their games out there, just like I'm trying to get my setting out there. This is really neat. This was made by somebody within driving distance. So yeah, I'm going to support it. Absolutely. And it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I played a priest and I didn't want to fight because we were doing character creation and I didn't want to run over. I was in between sessions. So I was like, all right, let me grab my lunch and do something real quick. And I was like, I don't want to fight. So I found every spell possible that my character had to stop from fighting, hold person, retention field. I caged a displacer beast and left it in a corner of a room so that we could just book it and get past it. A lot of fun, and he definitely didn't expect that to happen. So it was good. Something really neat that I found that in the Brawl has a Discord. I'll get a link up to that later. With Brawl's Discord, they had this trading card game, collectible card game, in one of their chats, and it was called Weird Warp. And the Weird Warp really caught my eye because it's about cryptids. It says it's about cryptids, but it's about these weird monsters, and they were talking about them being there. The game's not out; it's in development, and if you come out, you can demo the game. They were going to have a tournament where they loaned out decks, and so I wasn't going to have time to play in the tournaments because I was running so many different sessions myself. But I definitely wanted to see the game because, again, they had really, really neat art, like really kind of, I say almost gruesome artwork. Not gruesome, but it was, I don't know, I just really like the word gruesome for it. You buy the decks in like this big box, and then there's currently four to six different decks. Had a lot of fun with it. Sat down with the creator, sat down with the creator's friend who was doing the demos, and I could tell that this friend loved the game. He knew the rules. He was very, very informative when I was sitting down playing. I caught on to the game during the second turn, and I just took off. Like it was so much fun. The creator gave me this huge version of one of the cards, the Slime Brawler. Absolutely love it. Some of the promos that they were giving away, this is one of the promos. So as soon as I saw it, I was like, I need that card. I want that card. I actually wanted the Fungal Frog, but he couldn't find any of the Fungal Frogs in the full, this little poster size. So I was like, all right, cool. I want the Slime Brawler because the Slime Brawler has a special limited edition BR&WL CON promo card. So I have that promo card saved and sleeved so that when the game comes out, I can put it inside my deck. But I thought this was really neat. The creator signed it. He just says thanks, and it was so neat again to see somebody local come out and promote their game. these are the kind of people that we need to back, to be behind, to have fun with, to encourage, right? Because this is their dream. Their dream is to come out with a game that people play and love, and they are actively out there working towards that, right? Because they weren't selling anything. They couldn't sell anything really, because the game's still in development. So they were just there to run demos. They were taking an entire weekend of their time to have fun and do this kind of stuff. These guys are local, and their artist is in South America somewhere. Can't remember where, Argentina or Venezuela. But their art is actual art. It's not AI art. It's a guy drawing everything, because they have the line art for it and everything. Because they have promo cards with line art of the cards, which I thought was really neat. And then they have full foil versions of the promo cards, which is again is really cool. Alright. Next, okay, so next I'm super excited about this one because I spent the entire weekend messing with the guys at this booth, because I showed up the first day, and I bought like, I think I bought 6 minis the first day, I bought 5 minis the next day, and then the last day I think I bought 4 more minis. And they had a giant ship. If you looked at my personal Facebook page, they had a giant ship, I guess like a sailing ship, a pirate ship, but it had gears on it, so I was like, it's a little too steampunky futuristic for what my setting is, but I really wanted that ship. Oh man, it was $250, full resin print, I'm sorry, PLA print, 3D printed. It was modular. You could put different cannons and crow's nests and different things around the front of the ship, the side of the ship. The ship came with like barrels and other things to put inside. It was not gridded on the inside, and y'all guys know that I don't like gridded maps. So I was like, oh man, this is so cool. I really want it. $250. That's less than half of the cost of a Switch 2, which I'm leaning heavily towards. And I was like, oh, let me see what I can do. Let me see what I can do. And so I'm talking with them back and forth, and I told them, I might buy that ship. I might buy that ship. And they're like, oh yeah, please buy it. Take it off our hands. We want to print another one, but we can't print another one until we sell this one. We're going back and forth. And they want to print more stuff. And they want to get more things out. And they're like, yeah, we have our own little setting and modules. And I was like, oh, I love modules. Like, let me check out and see what you have. So of course, the first one that I see is Sickness in the Swamp. Alright, it's a little spooky, it's swampy. I'm all about the swamps, I love swamps. And I was like, yeah, let me go ahead and take that. And I actually picked this up Friday afternoon. Picked this up Friday afternoon with a bunch of, actually it wasn't a bunch of fungusoid miniatures, like little fungus people. It was one fungus fungus person, and he was playing a tuba. He was playing a mushroom tuba. So I was like, I gotta have that. My brother Rudy would love that. Picked that up. Picked up Sickness in the Swamp. I'm gonna switch over to the guy's artwork, because I read it Friday night. I read it cover to cover, and I found this little guy. Look at this sweet little baby boy. I looked at him and I said, oh my gosh, his name is Groke the Toad Folk, and I want more of him. I want him in my life. So I'm looking at him, I was like, man, this is really cool. I met the artist, Ross Quellar. Met Ross, and phenomenal artist. He was drawing while I was there, creating more stuff for his setting, creating like just getting his artistic itch out. Because I actually watched him, because he was doing everything digitally, on like a special sketch pad that looked really neat. It actually looked like something one of the girls would carry. Big old pad with like an iPad or something in the middle of it. And I was like, oh, that's kind of neat. That's cool. And he had one of those little gloves that's missing fingers that artists use for digital art. And I was like, oh, that James has a glove like that. That's really neat. And then Sunday afternoon, I sat down and he walked over to my table. He said, "Is it okay if I sit here?" Like, of course, yeah. I'm not running anything. I'm just sitting here to eat my lunch and relax. He sat down next to me and he broke out a little notebook with pencils and erasers and just started sketching. And I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna go get lunch real quick. Do you mind watching my stuff?" Yeah. I came back and I don't know what was in his mind, but he was laying the groundwork for something cool. And then he closed the book, took a deep breath, and was like, "Okay, I got that out. I can go back to work and do what I need." And I was like, "Oh, needed a creative outlet. That's really cool." It was really neat to watch the process. But these guys, Cave Gaming, on Facebook, it's The Cave Gaming. I'm gonna look them up in other places, but they have a Kickstarter out, and their Kickstarter is for their home setting, Maxer. And right now, every month they're doing a Kickstarter, and it's not big. Their goals are like $400, $500, and they're doing the different biomes of their world. So they did the tundra, they've done a desert, volcanoes, and you know me, they have a little roadmap. So I looked at the roadmap and I was like, all right, let's see what's coming out. See if I want it back. Yeah, that looks cool. Oh, in March of 2026, they are going to do swamp. They're going to do a swamp biome. And I was like, that's right up my alley. I wonder if I can get more toad people out of that swamp biome. So I'm going through the Kickstarter and they have, oh yeah, just donate what you want. No, don't get anything back, no reward. And I was like, I could do that. Digital files for $1 to $5, I think it was. And then I scrolled all the way down to the bottom, like, what's their top tier? What's their big thing? And their biggest tier was $50. Not bad at all for a Kickstarter. $50, and you get to be a world creator. You get to add into their setting. So I was like, so I find $250 to buy the ship, or for the next 7 months, I donate $50 a month. And I tell them, I don't want to donate for the volcano. I want to donate for the swamp, so that I can start creating stuff for their swamp. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go tell them right now. I walked up because they were hoping that I was gonna buy the ship, and I almost bought that ship until I found their Kickstarter. And I said, hey, look, I know I said I was gonna try and buy the ship, but what I think I want to do is for the next 7 months. For the next 7 months, I'm gonna do your world creator tier on your Kickstarters. And shock, they were excited. He couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe that I was going to invest in his setting, because he had told me, oh yeah, we've got a good group of 40 to 50 people that regularly donate and kickstart to get the PDFs, or we'll print out hard copies. I said, let me do this. Let me do this because, one, they're in Conroe. They're literally an hour away from me. He was willing to drive to me to deliver more of those fungus people, because there are more fungus. I bought all of the fungus people that he had. I think I have like five variation of the models. And he was like, oh, I'll bring them out to you if you want more of those models. And I said, yeah, absolutely. If you're in the area. And he was like, oh yeah, we go to Eton all the time. I was like, oh, okay, so you know Eton. That's cool. I said, you need to check out Board and Brew. They sponsor my stream. Good people, and it's a game store and brewery. And he was like, oh, that sounds like a lot of fun. And I was like, I would be willing to run your stuff at Board and Brew for free. And so I said, let's do this. Let's do this deal. I'm gonna start kicking you out information. I'm gonna start kicking you ideas. Once the Kickstarter ends for this month, he's gonna send out an email where I can put in my official ideas. Oh, looks like I burnt myself. and then I'm going to start working on their swamp biome. Obviously, I'm working with them. It's not my whole idea, but all I want to do is create more of those frog people and get myself into this game as the frog people's leader. So come March of next year, I'm hoping to have as much of my ideas into this as possible so that y'all can see me in a game. I'm in Magi Nation as well. I still need to finish that out and help those guys. But Cave Gaming, the guys at that booth, if you go to my Facebook page and you go through the pictures that I posted, you'll see them. Great guys, worked hard the entire convention, very funny. I love spending time with them, and then I spent a lot of time with them because a lot of my games were 1 or 2 tables away from their booth. So definitely had a good time. And out of all the different booths, I spent the most money with them. I bought the Sickness in the Swamp. I bought Tavern Troubles, which if you look at it, it's got a giant crocodile dude. So again, swampiness. Well, actually, I think that this one is more pirates on the coast. Gather your crew, sharpen your blades, and prepare for an adventure unlike any other. Word has spread far and wide that the High Duke has placed a bounty on a monster terrorizing the sea routes. So they've got these really cool modules ready to run. I bought their Arctic Expedition. It's several, I believe 3 different modules inside this. Yeah, this adventure module is split into 3 parts because it was done in parts originally. And the total playtime is approximately 6 to 9 hours. I could run this for a charity stream. Might end up doing that for them. Be kind of neat. It is all designed for 5e and Cobalt Press, Black Flag role-playing system. But I'm gonna tiny dungeon it up and check it out because they just came out with some amazing, fantastic, absolutely wonderful stuff. And all of this is written, developed, and pushed out of, just an hour north of Houston. These guys are hometown heroes to me. They're doing what I want to do. So I need to be in close proximity to them so that I can learn from them, so that I can glean what I can, and try and do this for myself so I can put out Lunaria, right? My end game is with the Aegis Creative Company's help to get my setting up and running and out so that people can play in my world, right? These guys are doing it and I want to follow them. I want to help them so I can learn from them. Bloop. Oh, that was my BR&WL CON review. That was my BR&WL CON update. I just had such an amazing time. Next year, I'm bringing my crew. Next year, I would rather go to BR&WL CON than go to the Renaissance Festival. I would rather go to BR&WL CON than go to a concert, which is pretty much the exact same price. Right? You go to a concert, you're gonna spend $100 on tickets. BR&WL CON's ticket, probably the admission to BR&WL CON wasn't that much, but you're gonna spend that much in the dealer room. Try not to sneeze on stage. Red Celtic Drake says, oh, sorry about that. Red Celtic Drake says, Big Bad Nerd Dad, are you going to interview Shane when he has rested up? I don't normally do interviews on my stream, but I might. Shane's a good man. I'm sure that he'd like to do that. It's a bit of a drive because he does live on the other side of Houston. But Shane's actually driven up to go to one of my RPG boot camps, which will be starting back up the end of this month. The last Sunday of August, we'll be doing a RPG boot camp at Board and Brew. This one focusing on table etiquette. But oh, Red Celtic Drake says one night they had a concert on the lawn of the town hall. I think it was Saturday night. I think that's when I went to go eat at Jupiter. It was really delicious. There was live music just outside of the hotel on the lawn of the town hall. But I had a great time. Next year for sure, I am going back. I might even get myself a VIP badge. Definitely going to stay in a hotel again. Definitely going to have fun, bring more people. I was really sad that I couldn't bring as many people as I wanted to this time around. But with everything that had gone on in the big bad world, I was just trying to focus on me for this. Huge thanks to Gallant Knight Games. I gave away 7 core rule books for Tiny Cthulhu. I gave away 3 core rule books for Knights of Underbed. I ran 2 games of Tiny Dungeon, 4 games of Tiny Cthulhu, and then the Savage World game Saturday night. I got to play the T area, which was a lot of fun. I got to play Weird Warp, which was a lot of fun. Abby, thank you very much for getting that for me. Abby got a link up for Board and Brew Games. Is that clickable? Yeah, it's clickable. Absolutely love BR&WL CON. Shane did a heck of a job putting this thing together, bringing people together that were there to have fun and game. One of the strongest things that Shane said over the weekend was the idea of getting together with your friends and family is to sit there and just play some games, but you also want to see them at the table again. And that hit real hard for me, because I'm like, sometimes we don't get that chance. Sometimes we don't get the chance to see them one more time. So we need to enjoy our time with our family and loved ones while we can. And Shane made that evident this weekend, as he was all over the place. He was all over the gaming hall. He was in the front lobby. He was at the wargaming tables, just making sure everybody was having a good time, making sure the convention was running well. And I can't wait to go back and see some more of it. We've got just a little bit of time, so I'm going to put together some of these Lizardmen Blood Bowl characters. That's one of the things that they had at BR&WL CON as well, was a lot of different Games Workshop games being played. I am building a Lizardman Blood Bowl team. I'm probably going to end up painting them, if not like the Houston Texans, then as the Tennessee Titans. Okay. I already have an a Houston Oilers orc team, so I'll be doing that next. I'll be they're assembled and painted up, but these guys are mixed. Oh, make 1 or 2 of these guys before the stream ends. I've already got source blocker number 1 done, so we're going to do source blocker number 2. And he is pieces 8 and 9, so piece 8. Got the theme song for Land of the Lost stuck in my head. I have for like the past 3 days. Red Celtic Drake over on Twitch is saying that BR&WL also raised a lot of money for different charities this weekend, and that is absolutely true. One of the things that I love to do is my 24-hour charity streams, and over the weekend I know that the Warrior Spirit was there, and they were backing an equine therapy group, which is kind of neat. To help people through therapy with horses, which I'm not surprised about things anymore when it comes to therapy. It's whatever works. Whatever you can get to help somebody out, do it. Abby, you want me to paint my lizardmen like the Detroit Lions? You know what? Maybe we'll have a raffle. Or what is that called? An auction. We'll do an auction for charity to see what theme team I will paint these lizardmen as. Detroit Lion Abby. Bum bum bum, pizza in the morning, pizza in the evening, pizza at supper time. So we put a little bit of glue. Pop right here. A little bit on these flat parts right in here. Dunsky. Abby over on Twitch says that knit therapy is expensive, and that she's just trying to help the Lions win somewhere. Abby, I am a Houston, Texas fan. I'm in the same boat. We just need a win somewhere. Alright, so we clipped out. We need pieces 10, 11, 12, and 13. Take a look. 10, 11, 12, and 13. 10. 11. 12 and 13. All right. Now remember, if you're doing this, if you're going to be doing this at home, always cut away from you. That way you don't slice into yourself too bad if the blade slips. Okay. That piece is done. Get his arm. Always remember to do as I say, not as I do. Just told you to cut away from me, and then I immediately start cutting towards me. Now, with BR&WL over, we're not going to worry about BR&WL 2, Revenge of BR&WL until probably January of next year, if that makes sense. I believe that they said that they're going to try and hold it in August or October of next year. So that gives us plenty of time to think, to grab some new games, to work on our convention support, and get ready for another fun weekend. There we go. That's not where that goes. Between now and then, though, Big Bad Nerd Dad will be doing a bunch of stuff. We got to start gearing up for our Labor Day stream. Got to start gearing up for what's that? Black Friday, our Black Friday stream. He's smashing something. He's angry. There we go. So I really like this Loctite Ultra Gel Control Super Glue. It doesn't get all over the place. It stays in one spot. We've decided that for Labor Day we'll be doing the Wounded Warrior again, and then for Black Friday we will be doing the Houston Food Bank. And that one specifically because Lulu keeps wanting to volunteer at the food bank again. And I want to make sure that we do the things that she thinks are important too. Lulu has a huge heart for people. It's hard to tell her, you know, we can't always give money to people, we can't always donate food, but we have other gifts to help. We can do something. So if we can't give money, we can't buy food, we have time, we have abilities, we have passion that can help these people. There. That's a bit of a glare on the camera, but that's okay. There we go. Yeah, my Lulu bear, she has such a good heart. All she wants to do is help. Alright. My source blocker is done. I don't know why I keep doing that. That source blocker literally took me like 7-8 minutes to do. All right, Abby. That is actually very good. My good friend Abby over on Twitch just said that I can't end the stream without telling everyone about back to school. So school started last Wednesday and the girls were super excited. They're going back to Humble Elementary. This is Mimi's first year in kindergarten. And she did such a good job. She did a really good job going in, being strong, letting go of me and Mama. And now it's like no big deal. I drop them off at the front door every morning. The teachers escort them in. I've picked them up every day and they're excited to see me. And it has just been a huge change and a huge blessing to have them and talk with them and do things with them. And I'm very, very grateful for that. Back to school has been a new monster because both of these girls are so strong-willed and so smart, so funny. Abby, that is a good question. I did cry when I dropped off. Abby over on Twitch asked, Mimi was strong, but were you? I did cry when I had to leave my baby girl, my itty bitty Mimi, in class, and she didn't cry. Like she didn't want me to let go for a while. And her teacher did a phenomenal job of helping her and making her feel comfortable and giving us space to do what we needed to do to make sure that she felt comfortable and ready. And I'm so glad that they have such good teachers at their school that care about them, that think about them, that message when anything seems out of the ordinary. So yes, I did cry, and I'm not afraid to admit that because macho men cry. They feel every emotion on the spectrum, on the emotional spectrum. But it was good. It was lovely. It was nice. It was a good change of pace. And now this year is off to a great start. Tomorrow we have a spirit night that I will be attending as regular Mike, not the Big Bad Nerd Dad. You gotta pay money for that. Tomorrow is movie night too, because Showbiz theaters do $5 movies on Tuesdays. So we'll be going out to the movies. Not quite sure what we're gonna see. Abby had mentioned earlier that I skipped watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles this weekend because they had special showings of the old school Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies in movie theaters. I skipped it to go to the convention, and I absolutely did, and I would do it again because BR&WL'd CON was fantastic. Shane, this is me begging you, please be a sponsor of my stream so that I can talk about BR&WL'd CON some more. I'm going to talk about it all year long. I might as well make y'all a sponsor. So talk to me if you want to be added to my sponsor banner. Thank you to all my sponsors, the Aegis Creative Company, for supporting me throughout all these years. They were my first sponsor, and they will continue to be my sponsor because they love me and believe in me. Thank you to Board & Brew for letting me run and play games at my local store. They're literally 7 minutes from my house. And even though they're not here anymore, they'll always be here in spirit. Space Cadets Gaming. When I talk about the perfect fellowship opportunities, Space Cadets brought those opportunities to the table. So it is now time for me to say goodbye to all my company. Thank y'all very much for watching, for staying tuned, for listening. I hope that you enjoyed the talk about BR&WL'd CON. I hope that next year you join us for BR&WL'd CON because it was absolutely amazing. Don't forget that I will be at Board & Brew the last Sunday of this month doing my RPG boot camp on table etiquette. After the boot camp, we will be playing a few games. I have a few friends that'll help me run some Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition scenarios, one-shots, and we're going to have a lot of fun with that. Also, I'll be teaming up with the Indigo Bandit. It is a local craft vendor that's going to be doing some arts and crafts days at Board and Brew and other places in the area, both for adults and for kids. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Yes, the last Sunday of the month is Labor Day weekend, so I'm figuring out that time with them. But I definitely need to do another RPG boot camp because I can only do those when I don't have my girls, so I don't have them that weekend. But we will get back to you. Thank you very much for watching. I love you all very, very much. And don't forget, walls ahead, rubble behind.